People say the gods are dead, or maybe that they never were. Maybe they were visitors, higher beings, misunderstood, worshipped out of awe or ignorance. Or maybe, just maybe, they are symbols, like doorways carved into the shape of truth. But before we jump to the end, let's begin at the root. Let's begin with Siva, or in Thailand known as Phra Siva, the first Lucy, the Lord of Dissolution, the mystic of mystics. Shiva, in the West, they think of him as a god of destruction. In the East, he's seen not just as a destroyer, but as the ultimate transformer, the one who ends so that something new can begin. He is the keeper of time and the liberator of souls. He dances not for spectacle, but for the unraveling of illusions, for within his joyous steps, the end comes, so that life can spring forth from beneath his feet. In the oldest traditions of India, Shiva sits upon Mount Kailash in stillness, ash-covered, serpents curled around his limbs, the crescent moon a jewel in his dreadlocks. But don't let the image deceive you. That's not the truth of him. That's merely the poetry we use when words fail. And this is a description of many gods across all traditions. You see, Shiva is the very principle of inner rebellion. He's the patron of those who seek beyond. He's the god of the edge, of the outcast, the shaman, the wild hermit who doesn't belong to society, but walks beside it. And here's where it touches Thai soil. Thai spiritual traditions absorbed Shiva not as an outsider, but as a father figure. Before there was any ajarn, before any monk tied a string of protection around a wrist, there was Shiva, the first Lucy, the forest hermit, the yogi, the ascetic who walks away from society to find the real, only to return with eyes that burn through illusion. You see, in the old traditions, the very first hermits who brought these animistic practices into Thailand back in the days of Siam, pre-14th century Thailand, there was an echoing of tradition that came from the forest. And that, my friends, is where Shiva entered the picture. Because as we know, the Adiyogi had the Saptarishis, and they spread the yogic traditions and principles and philosophies and practices across the world, right? But one and his descendants made their way down into Southeast Asia. And that is where we had the break-off. You see, to be a Lucy is not to worship Shiva, it is to walk in his footprints, to see the fire in your own skull, to turn your own bones into sacred tools, the way we work with Pai, ghost. He's not a distant god, he is the original template. Thai Lucy traditions echo with his footsteps, the tiger skin robes, the third eye opened, not as a metaphor, but as a lived reality, Lucy Tafai, in Wicca, in meditation, in the alchemy of body and mind. Shiva lives on, not as a statue, but as a method, a practice, a way of being. You will find this form carved not just in ancient lentils, but in the habits of jungle shamans, You will hear his mantras echoing not in Sanskrit but in the tonal speech of Thai mantras. He is the primal yogi and the eternal guide. He is found in chants, yes, but more so in silence. He is found in temples, yes, but more so in caves. He is the inward gaze of Buddhism before it was systematized. He is the guardian of tantric truths, of direct perception. That's why he appears across Southeast Asia. That's why the ancient Lucy would call on him not to worship but to witness. Lucy traditions are not merely magical, they are initiatory. The deeper your discipline, the more you become like him. The third eye, like we said, it's not symbolic, it's a trained perception. So to see through glamour, deception, Maya. And what does Shiva destroy? Not the world. He destroys ignorance. He destroys the false self. He is the death of delusion. You see, many want blessings. Few want truth. But Shiva gives only truth. And that is his most terrifying gift, because this is not something that everyone truly wants to receive. The Kaew ruins. Take your gaze into Isan, to the northeastern heart of Thailand, where we already are.